Hello, welcome to Ghost Draws, welcome to Shipwrecks. I'm Ghost in the Hella, and we're going to be doing yet another Life is Strange fan art drawing, but a bit of a different ship. The word for today is from the actual Inktober prompt list, which I'm pretty sure this is the first one that we've done this month. And it is the word collide. So, last year I really wanted to do a piece of fan art for the Chase Bryce fanfic Grit, because it's amazing. And I couldn't quite get the pose the way I wanted it and just kind of gave up, I think, and did something else for that day. But this year we're going to make it happen, so gonna do a little Chase Bryce. If I remember correctly, Grit is maybe like similar era to Before the Storm, although it doesn't, it's not like compliant with Before the Storm. So I'm assuming like 16, 17-year-old Chloe and Victoria. I was taking a look at the just the first chapter because I want to illustrate a very specific moment from it. The fic is by It's a Viking Thing, by the way. If you have not read it, I highly recommend it. It is excellent. But yeah, there's sort of the moment of their first meeting in the story where, like, Chloe basically crashes into Victoria on her skateboard, and it's just this fantastic meeting moment. Hey Dax, how's it going? Grit was the year before season 1, if she recalls. Okay, so yeah, like 17 then. 17, I guess maybe Chloe would be 18 or so. So, yeah, and looking at the descriptions in the fic, it looks like Chloe's still got the blonde hair and all of that. Dex reread Grit after it got brought up in the Discord server last week. Nice. Yeah, it's fantastic. I need to find some time to reread it. I'm just like scrambling to keep on top of my sci-fi and fantasy book club reading, which I got a good chunk of that done today, while our roof was being redone. Didn't have much else to do, like, just gotta when they're working on your roof, you gotta find something to do with your time that does not require you to have all of your brain cells firing. And that's why we're streaming kind of late tonight, because it was very, very loud in here until quite recently. Oh, nice! Dax thinking of drawing something from Grit too when she's done with her current project? Nice! Yeah, it's a great story. It's really fantastic. Like, Victoria has never been one of my favorite characters, honestly. I don't read a huge amount of fics featuring Victoria. It reminds me a little bit too much of some of the girls who bullied me in junior high. So, like, not really my cup of tea. But certain people just write her so well, and It's a Viking Thing is one of those people. Just write her so well that it's like, okay, this is now an interesting character to me. This is somebody I find compelling. I will read this story. Alright, so we've got kind of stumbling Chloe. I think the most challenging thing with this pose, because it's like Chloe kind of stumbling off her skateboard and falling into Victoria, which is why it works for Collide, but kind of the challenge of it is making it not look super aggressive. So that is the challenge for the evening. Trying to make this not look extremely aggressive.
Probably helps that Chloe's kind of gangly.
Yes. Yeah, so we got the gangly limbs. I think I'm gonna have to expand this a little. Let's go fairly wide. Alright. Give them a little room to stretch out. So we want kind of the momentum. Because we've got like one person falling forward and the other kind of taking the brunt of that weight. And like Chloe, in the description, she like is gripping Victoria's arm, which also can be kind of aggressive seeming. You snacking more cookies, son? Or are you just making... okay.
Mr. Bear.
Nail trimming time while little bear is snoozy.
Yeah.
Good luck.
Like I lifted up his tail and it just fell straight back down, so I think it might be a good time.
Alright, yes, it sounds like our first son is unconscious, and so it is time to attempt to trim his nails, because Lord knows he will not allow it any other time. Yeah, that is a very apt description, Dax. It's a Viking Things prose was poetic at times. It was a great read, even if Chase Price isn't your thing. Yeah. Like, Chase Price has grown on me over the years. Like, I actually really like Chase Price at this point. Still not so into Chase Marsh, which I know is kind of like the big Victoria ship, but I don't know, I just have a hard time with bullies and their victims, but to each their own. At least, I don't know, with Chloe it seems a bit more of equals, you know, like Chloe can give back as good as she gets. Yeah, Vic had latched onto Chloe too. Yeah, she... Well, remember, Dax, yes, like, Victoria's got her hand on Chloe's abs, basically. Yeah, and I was just, like, rereading that descriptive paragraph of, like, when they first make contact, and it's very poetic. Just so good. So I need to find a way to get, like, one of Victoria's hands kind of over here. That's right, because it sounds like her shirt may be riding up a little. Am I not doing this pose dramatically enough? Maybe this needs to be more dramatic. Action poses are not my usual, but we'll make it work. Okay. So we've got kind of the startled hand here. I feel like they should be fairly close contact. It's a tricky pose.
Yeah.
Maybe Chloe's arm shouldn't be reaching out that far. You just gonna watch over my shoulder, babe?
I know, I wanted to ask you where the remotes were. That's not a good time.
Yeah, not the best time.
Yeah, but...
Probably on the couch or near the couch, I would guess.
I'll try looking.
Yeah, I haven't used them since this morning.
Yeah. They could be anywhere.
Yes, they could have traveled anywhere by now. Oh, so Dax was saying she never really got behind Chase Marsh until reading To See With Eyes Unclouded. I have heard that fic referenced. I have never read it because I don't really read much Chase Marsh, except for Lead Us Not Into Temptation, which is technically like Chase Price Marsh. So, got a lot going on there. I think the biggest part of this one is going to be figuring out how to make this pose work, basically. It's mostly going to be me sketching and resketching until I've actually got them in a position I like, which I think is why I gave up last year, because I was doing just like pencil and paper, and at a certain point erasing just smudges. So it was not really okay. I want you kids close. You should be close. I mean, now it just kind of looks like Chloe's groping her, which is not ideal. Dex says it really did an amazing job of slow burning that relationship and focusing on the emotional arc that they went through. That, I think, is what I would need to, like, really buy Chase Marsh. Like, I've only written it a couple times for Mia. Hi, Mia. Which I just kind of set it in a universe where Vic had never been Kate's bully. Otherwise, it would just take so much to get it to that point where, yeah, this is looking really aggressive. Yeah, doing something dynamic really is definitely a challenge. Like, I make comics. You would think that I'd be able to draw action poses, but really, most of my comics are about people standing around talking to each other. So, let's see. It's kind of getting there. Kind of getting there. I feel like maybe their bodies shouldn't be as far apart, but I also don't want to not be able to see, like, the actual action. Alright, let's do that thing when I'm being really indecisive and I, like, draw a second pose just to see what I'm doing differently. Alright. Mia saying more more words in favor of To See With Eyes Unclouded. It handles the slow burn so well. Every Life is Strange fan should read it at some point. I've converted at least a dozen people who are skeptical just by wrecking that. Yeah. I mean, yeah, I'm not necessarily opposed to, yeah, I don't want to piss on anybody else's parade, you know, basically, is my deal. Like, you know, it's just not my own personal thing, just because she reminds me so much of people who I knew and did not enjoy. That, like, until I started reading fanfic, like, when I had just first played the games, like, I didn't even find her remotely interesting as a character. Just, like, nah, not my cup of tea. Let's see what happens if we've got the action happening more on this side. So I always picture it more from the other side, but let's see what happens. I'd probably be more... Gonna be a lot of erasing tonight. I don't anticipate the, like, actual drawing itself, like, once I get past the sketch, taking long at all. But, like, I just really want to get the pose to a place where I'm happy with it. Because I don't necessarily want it aggressive, but, like, you want impact. Yeah, like, Chloe is literally falling into her. I don't know if it... I mean, I like that you can see her gripping the arm. But then it might have to be Victoria's other arm touching her stomach, because I don't know if that angle's gonna work. I don't even know. Yeah, I think I need Chloe's body turned out. That looks really, really aggressive. Alright. Chase Price and Impact. Name a more iconic duo. I mean, it's true, like, there does tend to be a bit of aggression to Chase Price. Oh, thank you, Mia. I have mixed feelings about my own voice, so I'm glad that you like it. But, yeah, it's one of those things where, like, it sounds fine in my head, and then when I listen to it on record, it's like, oh god, that's what I sound like? Oh no. Oh dear. Alright. Let's see if I can figure out a way to get kind of the best of both worlds from these poses. I know if I'm deliberately recording, like if I am reading a story or if I'm reading something for an animation or something, like, I will do what my partner has termed my NPR voice. Like, I just kind of end up... It's not something I deliberately do when I'm just talking, but, like, when I am... So, like, when I'm recording this right now, I'm not necessarily doing my NPR voice, but, like, when I'm recording my fics and stuff, definitely. Okay. So let's go. Arms swinging out. I do like... kind of like Chloe having that, like, open body language. Just, you know, she's free falling, she don't give a fuck. She's just catching herself on the next available object, which happens to be Vic. Dax, you do an NPR voice too? Nice. Yeah, it's like, just, I grew up in a house where NPR is constantly playing. Thank you, Dad. So, like, it's, you just kind of absorb that, like, this is how you talk when you are being recorded. Chloe's body needs to be closer to really get... It is tricky, like, having one person be gripping the other person's arm and that person touching their stomach, because that's like... Because if her arm's bent up this much, she's gonna be touching something else, but like... So she has to have a certain amount of distance from her to be able to, like, have her... We're on a journey tonight. Okay. Okay. Alright, I think we're getting somewhere. I think Chloe needs to be a little bit taller so that... Not that I necessarily object to Victoria getting a handful, but it's not what's happening in this specific fic. So... If Vic's palm is flat and facing forward at stomach level, her elbow would be far back. Ah. Interesting. Yeah. That's true. So if we wanted them in close, let's see, where's that other level? So, like, Chloe's hand gripping. God. Let's not fail at this for a second year in a row, right? Okay. Or you think if her palm was close to her own body? Yeah, like, it would have to be in this, like, super close pose, I think, for that. Which, like, there are merits. Alright, so we've got the super close pose. I think. I've kind of. I feel like with the super close pose, you lose some of the momentum. But it's not bad. Presumably her other arm coming out like that, maybe? Sure. I don't think her legs would actually be at that angle. So that's kind of her back, so be more. Okay. So that's our super close one. Not bad. What's our other one? Yeah, it works out if Chloe and Vic are close, which I do like that. I do like them being close. Is this the other one I liked? Layers upon layers upon layers. Yeah, I think this was the other one that I liked well enough. Okay. Kind of a startled Vic hand over here. Alright, so I'll tighten these both up a little bit and then we can see what we prefer. Hey, Rain, welcome. Good to see you. Rain, I'm sure you'll be shocked to hear I am being indecisive about a pose. And Cyrax, awesome. Good to see you as well. The gang's all here. Pixie bomb. Right. Not Ghost being indecisive. Yeah. Ghost having trouble making a decision? What? Nevers. hasn't read Grit, I definitely recommend that you do that. It is wonderful. So good. Yeah, so Dax is doing a good job setting this up. Basically, Chloe crashed into Vic on her skateboard, and I'm trying to figure out what pose looks best. It's basically Chloe's got to be gripping Vic's upper arm, and Vic has to have her hand kind of on Chloe's stomach. And I kind of want at least like some like dynamic action because the word is collide, so it's definitely a collision.
Hi.
Velmax peeking in. Hi.
Hi. Oh, sorry. I won't look at you drawing. I'll just look at the stream.
Yeah. Thank you. So I've got basically like 2 poses going.
Mm-hmm.
And we're seeing which one kind of works the best. Little Chloe and her raggedy tank tops.
I think I had one of those dolls.
Raggedy tank top doll. God, Raggedy Ann and Raggedy Andy are fucking terrifying. No offense to anybody who had and loved them, just, for me, nightmare fuel.
Like clowns and creepy dolls had a baby.
Exactly, yeah, they're basically like clowns. Classic beanie. A little bit of hair momentum. Alright. So, that's kind of our pose 1. Let me put an A on it. Pose A. And then, I think, yeah, not too keen on that one. Let's go with, this is our pose B. Vic froze with her hand on Chloe's abs and went, "Oh shit, I'm gay!" It was a great moment. Yes, it was fantastic. It's really a wonderful, wonderful moment in a wonderful, wonderful fic. Just so good. Like, basically the premise is that Victoria has a very set plan in mind of, you know, how she's gonna live her life. And then Chloe kind of smashed into her and is like, "Oh shit, I'm actually gay." Chloe is now part of the plan. And if I recall, it does, I think Rain, you'll appreciate, I think it does a good job of, like, taking bad parents to task, which I know you enjoy those stories, so I'm pretty sure there's a good scene where, like, Victoria just gives Joyce hell, which is nice. I haven't read the fic in, like, probably about a year, apart from the first chapter, which I kind of, you know, skimmed through again today just to make sure I got the pose and, like, hairstyles and stuff right. Pet monster? A My Little Monster kid. Nice. Vic has plans that are ruined by being gay is pretty much canon in every universe.
Oh, what about the Thanksgiving one?
What Thanksgiving one, hun?
The Chase Price Thanksgiving.
Oh my god! Yes, Be Loud, I'm pretty sure is the name of that one. I think that's another Mogatrat. Not quite sure how she pronounces her handle, sorry, but I'm pretty sure she like has Vic posting a Craigslist ad or something like that, looking for someone obnoxious to pretend to be her girlfriend at Thanksgiving to just like drive her parents nuts, and Chloe answers it. And that is fantastic. Yeah. She's another excellent, another one of those people who just, like, writes Victoria in a way that's like, okay, I can actually see myself giving a shit about this character. This person is more interested than, is more interesting than... I guess one of the things that I never really cared for with Victoria is that, like, a lot of fic writers write her as very, like, either she is mean and I love it, or, like, she's straight up dominatrix, or, like, I don't know, it very much, like, sexualization of the bully, which, for me, not personally my cup of tea. But, like, certain writers really write her in a compelling way that actually makes me want to read about her. Or they write about her like, oh, you know, she's a perfect snowflake who has done nothing wrong. It's like, well, what about when that time when she bullied someone to death? Yeah, that may also be coloring my perception of Victoria's, like, the fact that the first time that Belle and I played through, Arcade did not make it. So, like, I don't know, for some people maybe it's just, like, bullied someone near suicide, but for me, like, she literally bullied Kate to death, which... it's a hard thing to come back from as a character, like... Victoria's the biggest sub, and you can't change my mind. Yeah, that's... I'm with you on that. That it works. That scans. It's a decent collision. I think I'd have to change the angle on, oops, Victoria's hand a little more. And I think the thing that I still like better about A is that you can see more of Chloe's face, and, like, my favorite line, just read, like, the last line from this little... Actually, you know what? Fuck it. It's fanfic. I'll read the paragraph. So this is the moment that we are trying to illustrate. Long, strong fingers grip Victoria's bicep. Warm, laughing breath blows across her face. Victoria inhales cigarettes, cheap deodorant, and a weirdly appealing whiff of sweat. Victoria's hand, raised defensively, somehow finds soft abdominal skin with hints of firm muscle underneath. So I gotta have that hand up. Victoria's exhale turns into a gasp as goosebumps erupt on her skin. Victoria's scorpion tongue sits idle between parted lips as she locks onto pale blue eyes. Her complete undoing, the skater's slow-motion sunrise of a grin. I fucking love that last line so much. So, like, that's kind of why I like this pose, just because I can get that smile. Slow-motion sunrise of a grin. And I feel like with this one, it's hard to get enough of Chloe's face, because she's kind of like, basically in pose A, you've got Chloe facing more to the camera, and in pose B, you've got them kind of, I guess, like nose to nose pretty much, right? Let's see. Oh no, I'm gay. I feel like Chloe's kind of angled away from the viewer here, but I could still... still get a bit of grin in there. That can still be made to work. Beanie. Alright, so that can work. Alright. Let's see. Oof. Right, also flub saving Kate. Yeah, it's fucking hard. Like, every subsequent time we've just kind of used a cheat sheet, basically.
I think we could probably get it now.
I don't know. Can we get it now? Let's not find out when we stream the remaster. God. Unless you want to risk killing Kate again. Fucking. Oh, God. That was one of the big reasons why, like, the first time we played Life is Strange, I was like, you know what? That was awesome. I don't think I ever want to play this game again. It was too intense. Obviously, I changed my mind, but... She's just a kid with the crushing weight of her parents' expectations and coping absolutely terribly. Yeah. And honestly, I think a lot of the kids who bullied me were like that. Just, you know, when you're 14, you don't really necessarily see that aspect of people. Mia says she most often sees the externalizing her pain and insecurities take from the Fixie Fred. Yeah, I don't know. I mean, I guess maybe I just have had bad luck with with Victoria Fix. I don't read a huge amount of them. You have certainly read more than I have. And I agree with Dax also. Rain has excellent prose, but yeah, It's a Viking Thing just really... I mean, It's a Viking Thing generally writes really good fic. But Grit was a personal favorite. Alright, let's put it to a vote. Pose A. You coming to vote, hun?
Maybe.
Alright, so we've got pose A.
Uh-huh.
Or pose B.
I kind of like pose B.
Yeah? Mia says, what I love about the Kate scene is that it's not about having powers. It's about being a good friend and paying attention to her, which is realistically what she needs in that moment. Yeah, I mean, powers would definitely help. But yeah, I think that that first time we played through, like, we didn't know. We didn't know. Yeah, like we hadn't snooped hard enough. We didn't remember the Bible quote, and I think we had a moment where it was like, where you have to choose, like, you know, live for your mom, live for your sisters, live for your dad, and we chose mom, and then seconds later we're like, oh shit, no, she doesn't like her mom. Like,
Dex wants to see A again.
Yep. I have switched A.
Nice.
Yep. We've got 2 votes for B. 3 votes for B. Okay. Velmax is also weighing in. I think that's a majority. Alright. Alright then. Let's go with B.
Okay.
So. I mean, that is... Have you read Great Hun? Because that is essentially kind of how it goes.
I think either I read it or you read it to me, but it was...
I
it was
might
ages
have.
ago.
I know I read you How to Live Here. I definitely, like, I went through, I think it was after your second concussion. It was just, like, reading you fanfic.
Yeah.
I forget if this was one of the ones. It's entirely possible, certainly.
I'm at least familiar with the concept.
Okay.
But it's been a while.
Yeah. Well, me too. Go a little smaller for the max size. Alright. I did grab myself some reference pictures, so let me just double check to make sure I like part their hair on the right side and stuff. And I've only drawn Victoria like once or twice before, and like really sketchy. So let's see. I want to see if I can at least somewhat get her facial features. Alright. Mia also votes for B. Yeah, it's a great fic. It's truly just a wonderful fic. This is such a good moment in it. Read it, reread it. Alright. Oh no, I'm gay. Oh yes, I'm gay. What does her jawline look like again? Pretty sharp. Okay. Okay. Oh, come on. For whatever reason, I think maybe my board that I'm leaning against keeps like touching the trackpad or something, because it'll like say the pointer is going to be in one area and then it'll shoot it over someplace else, which is not the most conducive to drawing. Get a little hair action on Vic as well. Untidying her tidy hair. How dare. I'm assuming she's got pierced ears. Let's see. course, I only grabbed like BTS era photos because I do not think that far ahead. All right. A very appropriate song is playing right now in Cyrax's mix. What is the song? Oof. Crane says that's enough gap-filling models for tonight. Oh jeez. That does sound... like, I have no idea what that means exactly, but it sounds unpleasant. Okay. I have to scale down the rest of the body to fit that head. But I can work on that. There you go. I can work with it. A sketch is but a suggestion. The downsides of push-fit models. You end up with gaps in the seams between the parts, and you need to use sculpting putty to fill them in. Oof. That does sound unpleasant. Okay, let's see. Very labor intensive. And then tomorrow when it's set, I have a lot of sanding to do. Ooh, fun. Something tells me you would also enjoy printmaking. So I have a tendency to like really tedious, labor-intensive art forms. So this sounds right up my alley. Just how I can have to fill in everything and then have to sand it and then like so many printmaking techniques are like fucking 50-step processes. Okay. pointy, but gangly. At least there won't be giant and obvious gaps in the model when you paint them. That's true. It's true. Yeah, you will have to get me into tabletop minis. I have thought about it many times. Many times. I don't play enough tabletop games to really, like, what would I use them for after I've painted them? Other than, you know, storing them someplace away from the cats. Keeping them safe. So I'm gonna say... But yeah, I've definitely thought about it. They look really cool. It seems like something I would enjoy. It's tedious and detail-oriented and tiny. I like working small scale. I like tedious, time-consuming art forms. And at least I wouldn't need a printmaking studio. Magnetizing minis? Oh dear God. What sounds more fun to you? Grimdark sci-fi, high fantasy, or anime sci-fi? Or killing Nazis? Commission painting could be fun, if I'm any good at it. I mean, I would say for me, either like grimdark sci-fi, or maybe anime sci-fi. Probably, like, go kind of grimdark. But, I don't know, like, I sometimes watch, like, minis painting streams, and there was one where, like, somebody painted an owl bear in, like, rainbow colors. So that's probably, like, I don't know who would pay me to actually, like, go way off model and paint ridiculous color schemes. Although, yeah, I'm sure there are a lot of queer tabletop gamers in the world who don't have enough time to paint their own figures in, like, the colors of the Bi Pride flag. You know, it's a market for anything, right? Okay. Also, I feel like minis are kind of expensive, which, yeah, not that printmaking isn't. Because, god damn, is it expensive, but, like, I don't know. I just haven't crossed that bridge yet. Not yet. Never say never. Okay. So we'll have to move Chloe a little. That doesn't quite work. To figure out this. Because this is kind of Chloe's back more. There's a big Fiverr community for painting minis? Interesting. Interesting. I don't know. I have some issues with Fiverr. I have done work through them before, and I was doing quite well. And then I needed like 1 week off, so I paused my gigs on Fiverr, and then after I reactivated them, I never got another commission that was not like a repeat customer who just like remembered my info, because I got like punted to the bottom of the algorithm again and just don't show up in anybody's searches ever since I went on vacation. So it has been a long time since Fiverr has gotten me anywhere. Okay, let's see. This would be more like palm flat. And then shirt height that way. Something like that. Something about this connection here just isn't quite lining up right. It's a shame. Fuck the gig economy. Yeah, basically. That's, yeah. So I was mostly doing, like, cover design stuff through Fiverr, and since Fiverr stopped getting me anywhere, I just started like doing cold calling basically to publishing companies, and I've only done like a couple covers for like official publishers, but between those like 2 cover designs, it's like more money than I made on Fiverr doing like a dozen. So yeah, Victoria's hand should probably be more centered to Chloe's body. You're probably right. You are probably right. There's just something about this pose, like, has stymied me for years. Maybe I've got Chloe's body angling too much, honestly. Maybe she needs to be more horizontal. Scrap all of that. Okay, so we've got Raina, I'm glad you liked your your cover for Prism, for Purity through Prism. That was fun. That was nice to draw. I do love Price Marsh. It's a very sweet ship. Since Vic is in perfect profile, Chloe should be facing us slightly. Maybe. I keep feeling like she should be kind of turned back towards us. I guess this is really the challenge with trying to like depict a specific moment, is I have such a clear vision in my head of what it's supposed to look like that it can be very hard to actually match that. I'm gonna, like, I was going to say, you know, surely I will learn my lesson from this, but I think there's at least one other drawing that I have in mind for this year that is also, like, illustrating a fanfic, so I do not learn. I already know I do not learn. It's not too bad. I really don't want to have to move Vic's arm closer, and yet I feel like that might happen by the end of the night. We shall see. We shall see. action hair. No, come on. Right. Leave well enough alone there. Alright. Just kind of looks like she's gonna put her eye out with her hair. Nice, Cyrax. You finished a commission you were working on? Awesome. Cool. Leave well enough alone there. Me at everything I draw. Yeah. Yeah, it's really hard sometimes to like take a step back and just be like, it's good enough. It's good enough. It'll do. Alright, and I think I had, yeah, her arm kind of coming out back. Maybe let's do like arm kind of flying out more. I want a little more energy there, a little more like And we're going to assume that this is pre-tattoo, because hell no, I am not drawing Chloe's tattoo tonight. It is not a let's draw Chloe's whole ass tattoo kind of night. I've been working on this for almost an hour and a half, and still am not completely satisfied with the pose. We're not doing the tattoo tonight. Yeah, if she's not 18 yet, she doesn't have it. But if, oh god, Victoria is 17, then Chloe's probably 18, right? I forget how much younger Victoria is. She's not one of the birthdays I have memorized. So. But at any rate, no tattoo. No tattoo. Not to mention, like, how does she afford a tattoo like that? And, like, who is giving an 18-year-old that elaborate of a tattoo as their first tattoo? Because we don't see, like, we see quite a lot of Chloe, and we do not see any other tattoos. Like, I mean, maybe she just started with, like, the skull or a butterfly or something and then kept adding to it. But it seems very much like this is a piece. It just seems unusual to dive right in on a full sleeve as your first ever tattoo. Although I have none, so who am I to say? Okay. Victoria's only a couple months younger. Interesting. It was definitely... Oh, okay. 1 year and 5 months younger. Yeah, that sounds more accurate. And I will definitely take Mia's word for it, since she is our Victoria authority. Yeah, I feel like Rachel probably, Rain saying that Chloe's tattoo is definitely a gift from Rachel. Like, yeah, I could see them both, like, maybe on Rachel's 18th birthday being like, all right, we're getting tattoos. And we are not getting any, you know, little bullshit tattoos. We are getting just, we're going for it. I'll get this big-ass dragon. You get, oh god, Chloe, what is your arm? What is anatomy? I knew once. I mean, could be worse. Yeah, Chloe's 19 in season 1, and Victoria just turned 18 that past August. It sounds accurate to me. Seems legit. Okay, let's see. The anatomy is so wonky on this one. Oh my god. Alright. Do I need to move Victoria's hand? Do I? Maybe Chloe hasn't finished falling into her yet. Rain got no writing done this weekend? That sounds unlikely. I know you posted a new chapter of Purity Through a Prism, so that's, you know, even if it's not actively writing it, that is certainly something. Yeah, Victoria's hand is in the wrong spot. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, it is, isn't it? Everything's in the wrong spot. Crumple it up and throw it out. Except you can't do that with a computer. Alright. It's not that bad. It's not that bad. It's not the best thing I've ever drawn, but it's not that bad. Alright. You have 36 chapters of Prism written? Holy shit. That is a lot. Yeah, I have not. I am definitely... I forget where I left off with Prism. But... I just need to, like, take a day and just catch up on that, because I feel like it won't actually take me that long. I just have to actually sit down and read it. And it's certainly not that I don't want to. Just for whatever reason. Has not been happening. Okay, let's try placing Victoria's hand and then seeing how we can hook up the arm to it. Alright, so let's do more or less palm flat. Maybe not quite palm flat, but like pretty damn close. Okay, so I might need to kind of bring you in a little. This is gonna be, yeah, really long forearm otherwise. Okay, let's see what we have. Let us see. bit awkward, but honestly, I think I'm gonna have to call it a night soon, even though I'm not at all satisfied. Sometimes you just need to let it be what it is, right? The anatomy, oh my god. Something like that. Ish. It is not my greatest masterpiece, but yeah, Rain, you can bug me about it. I'm assuming you mean about reading Prism and not about the janky anatomy going on here. From the way Chloe's body is angled, Victoria's hand is more to the center or the other side, like her body is rotating against it. Probably. I'll probably end up taking another crack at this one someday, but this, I might just have to call it a night on this one because it's been a long day. It's been a long, noisy day. What's that, hun? It could become an Inktober tradition, the annual attempt to draw this one particular moment from Grit. It could well be. Cool. There's an impact happening. And give Victoria a blush. Ooh, not that hard. It'll do. The yearly Grit fan art attempt. Yep. Ooh. Do something cockroaches related? That would be pretty cool. That is... I have read Cockroaches once, I think, because it is so fucking intense. Like, I reread Lead Us Not Into Temptation all the time, which is like, I guess the third in that series, I think. Kind of the conclusion of that series, if we don't count the really, really depressing addendum. But what was I saying? But yeah, I reread that one all the time. I have only read Cockroaches once, I think. Or, God, I really need to remember which signature I'm using. There we go. Alright. We're gonna call this one done. It's done. It is finished.
Yay!
Yay! Not my greatest masterpiece, but you know, they can't all be fantastic. And it's not bad.
It's fine.
It's not bad. It's fine.
It's fine.
I think I'm just being more nitpicky about it than I am usually. So I don't think it's necessarily any worse than anything else I've drawn this year. Yeah, Monk just had to remind us all that every love story is a tragedy on a long enough timeline. Yeah, pretty much. Yeah, that's that little addendum is another one that I've read once, and I was like, whew, I'm not sorry that I read that, but oh my fucking god, I don't know that I'm gonna read that again. But yes, we're done. It's fan art. It's grit. It's Chase Price.
See you again next year, folks.
Yes. See you again next year for my annual attempt at drawing this one particular moment from Grit. I'm gonna keep on trying till I get it. Thank you so much for watching. Thank you for all of your patience for, 90 minutes of me erasing things. Which is most of what this stream has been. And no kittens on the kitten cam. But, yeah, they had a rough day with all the banging on the roof, so. Yeah. But anyway, thanks so much for joining. It was great to chat with you all. Have a great night. I will be back tomorrow. I forget with what, but some sort of fan art. It'll be fun. Have a good night. See you next time.